Hello, I'm Catherine from Millennials in Motion magazine, and today I am speaking with Jackie from Litter Free Las Vegas, and she's going to talk about her organization, what they do out here in our city. Jackie, tell me about yourself.
Kat, thanks for talking with me today. So, like she said, my name is Jackie. I started the Litter Free LV monthly meetup group in Las Vegas. And what we do is we go out and we pick up trash, or we have environmentally focused events once a month. And so I personally was born and raised here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and our public lands are what I'm most passionate about in as far as like why I love this city and why I'm proud to grow up here. And so protecting the environment is something that's really personal to me. And I'm really glad that we're building a community of people who also feel that way.
We definitely need more people like that and getting involved with these things, which is why we're having this discussion today. So hopefully we can raise awareness about what they're doing and get you involved with what they're doing. So what is Litter Free Las Vegas, and what inspired it exactly, besides like your love for the environment? Like how did the idea come in your head? You're just like, I'm gonna start this.
So last year in the springtime, I was looking for ways that I could individually get involved in our community as far as what things I can do in my life in order to make a difference in protecting the environment. And one of those things was going out and picking up trash, and I started out doing that with another organization in town called Get Outdoors Nevada, and they are a local nonprofit organization who does a lot of parks and urban trail cleanups.
I haven't heard of them.
We'll talk about them. They're pretty cool. I like them a lot, and they really got me started in this journey of, really feeling empowered as one person. And especially as a group, when you go out and you pick up trash anywhere, and it's an immediate difference. You can see the impact that you make, and that really helps people, feel good about what we're doing, and we can see how we are benefiting the community in that way. The reason I decided to start Litter Free LV is because I wanted to sort of expand on that idea. I wanted to be able to have discussion-based platforms, so that way, like, with our meetups, we can talk to the people who are here, like, there with us, as a way to, like, meet more people. And also, I wanted to focus my energy on picking up trash out in the desert and out in our public lands, and shifting a little bit further away from being in the city to do that. So for me, it was all about building a community. And when I would share on social media about like the cleanups I was doing at parks and stuff, I had so many friends who, would reach out to me and say, I really want to get involved in something like this, or come out with you and do what you're doing. But it got to the point where it was like so many people that I was like, I can't really like coordinate this, and it was getting a little bit out of hand. So I was like, what if we just had like a group of people who you could consistently count on to
help each
come
other
out.
Do everything and organize stuff.
Absolutely.
That's
and
awesome.
So I think it's been a huge benefit for me personally, because I have met those people that I wanted to find, and I'm still looking for more. I'm always open to making new friends.
It's good to have those kind of people around you, because those are the people that are going to help you move forward, in your own life and the things that you're working on. And
yes. And I also wanted to mention that something that I'm really proud of for this group is that there are a lot of people who have come out with us to our meetups who are not familiar with public lands, or specifically our public lands. So it's nice to bring people out to places they've never been and be able to really get a little bit more love out there for our local public lands.
Right. It builds, the appreciation for where we live. Like I hear people all the time be like, oh, Vegas is so trashy. It's just like, well, are you contributing to that trash? Are you doing anything to make it less trashy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's only trashy if we let it be trashy and we believe that it's trashy. I love our city. I think it's beautiful, and I love our land that we have around our city. Whenever someone comes in from out of town that I speak with at work, and they're just, you're a local here, what do you do for fun? I'm just like, Red Rock, Mount Charleston, maybe Lake Mead, there's all these places. I'm just like, I don't go anywhere near the Strip. I'm always going to be like, do you like hiking? I can recommend you several trails, show them pictures on my phone. They're just like, that's out here? I'm just like, yeah, there's like little hidden places if you look for them, like.
Absolutely.
Everyone thinks that the only fun that you can have out in Vegas is the casinos, and it's not,
Yeah, it wasn't even until I was in college here at UNLV that I even got the chance to learn about our public lands and like go out to those places, because growing up here, like, it's not something my family ever did. So it was so new for me that I was like, these places have been here the whole time. I was like, I've wasted so much of my life not out there. But I'm really glad to know about these places now, and I want to make sure that other people know too.
Right. Like, I consider myself lucky because my dad, like, raised me and my sister, like, even before we could walk, he'd have, like, one of those hiking backpacks for babies and just take
cool.
us out. Yeah, so, like, all the places out in Red Rock and Mount Charleston, we'd been going, our whole entire life. And so when I was an adult and, had my own car and I can go and do things, I'd be like, who wants to go hiking? Who wants to go to the mountains with me? And they're just like, I've never been to the mountains.
Let's go.
What's out in Red Rock? It's a desert. I'm just like, ho.
And that's what it takes. It takes a friend who wants to invite you out there to go out and see these places. So that's a lot. We're building that friendship group too.
Yeah. And I'm a person who just loves to share things with everybody, like, about everything. So I'm just like always looking for people like, you've never been hiking before? I love to take you. Let's do it. I love an excuse to go hiking. So the organization has been formed for a year.
Yeah, our 1 year birthday, I guess, is November.
Oh, are you doing anything like big for your birthday?
We are going out to do our monthly meetup. Is a trash cleanup out at Tule Springs.
Where's that? I've never heard of that place.
A lot of people haven't, and I have never even been there yet. But I'm super excited about this because Tule Springs is actually one of our newest national monuments here in Southern Nevada. Ooh. And it's a fossil bed monument. So for a long time, as Vegas was growing as a city, people would kind of go out there and like go shooting, go dumping, or like ATVs, because people didn't think there was anything out there. They just thought, it's just kind of like the barren desert, so it's just a place to go party, whatever. And it wasn't until like somewhat recently that they realized it was actually home to like one of the biggest fossil beds in America.
Oh, now it has value.
And so now when they found out, they were like, whoa, we gotta do something about this. So it's really exciting that that place is even there, but it does have a serious trash problem. So I'm excited to bring people out. It's on the north side of town, so it would be like
I assume past Aliante, but like what, at the base of the Sheep Mountains?
Yeah, so like right above I think it's called Floyd Lamb Park.
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've been there.
We'll pull it up on the map so we could see. But it also just became it was just named as the state a newest state park. So I think the state park is Ice Age Fossils State Park. Okay. So it's the same place, but it's just cool. Like it adds more protections when you can give it names like that. So I'm just really excited to go out to such a special place, and hopefully we can get a lot of people out. My goal is to get 100 people. 100 people to go out. Yeah. And pick up trash with us. So I'm really excited.
Make your event, and I'll share it on our page.
I will.
And be like, we're going. Let's go. Come with us.
We're on our way. Yeah. Okay.
When you do cleanups, do you usually partner with like for instance, when we go up to Mount Charleston, we partner with like Go Mount Charleston, and they coordinate the event with us, and they bring like supplies and everything for use, or you bring supplies? How do you guys do your cleanups?
So, excellent question. We do partner with groups now. it's a lot about like building the community, like I said, and doing that is making sure that what we're doing is supporting the groups that are already existing. So back in April, we went out as a group to Sloan Canyon National Conservation Area, which is like very south part of town.
That's the hieroglyphic area, right? Or where the trail goes where there is hieroglyphics?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I went there for the first time this year, and I was just like, this has been here the whole time?
It's a super cool place, and people don't even know about that one either. And when we were there, we went out with Friends of Sloan Canyon, which is a volunteer-operated nonprofit, and we went out as volunteers for them. So that's how we did that. We also went out with Minimal Market, and Minimal Market has a huge zero waste following. So it was great to have like-minded people come out and be able to support our local nonprofit group and get to see some new public lands. So that's really where we've been trying to kind of like mirror that idea, in that we go out with these groups that already exist in order to support them, because most of the groups are nonprofits.
Right.
And last month we went out with Friends of Nevada Wilderness, and they're a statewide nonprofit that does a lot of protecting the wilderness areas in Nevada, as well as some other public lands too. So we were just like one of the largest volunteer groups that they had to go out. I think like this year it might have been the biggest one.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it's really awesome to just make sure that we're going out and supporting the community when we do this.
Right, and then you're also making sure that you're not stepping on any toes or anything like that. Because I remember I tried to organize a cleanup with Lake Mead, and they're just like, yeah, you can't just go out and pick up trash and stuff as like a group, because they said something about like you could be throwing away artifacts and everything, and I didn't quite understand what they meant by that until I think when we were at we were in San Diego doing a cleanup with this group called I Love a Clean San Diego, and they told us if you find any rusted cans, it's not trash, because after a certain point it becomes considered an artifact. And I was just like, oh, I guess that makes sense then, doesn't it?
It's super weird.
So it's good that you're working with other groups to make sure that, you know, you're doing it appropriately, or like you're not going into an area where they may be like trying to preserve or, you know, protect something specifically. You know, when people go like hiking, like in Red Rock, you're not supposed to go off trail because you could be stepping on moss that's really, really fragile. Mm-hmm. And no one thinks about this. They think, oh, it's just dirt, or it's not important, or whatever, you know, goes through their mind. They don't even think about it. So it's good to work with those people in those groups that can help you do the best job that you can possibly do.
Yeah, it's totally true. And I think historical trash is such a weird concept. And I think for me it was hard to understand, because I was like, if it's just trash, let's throw it away. Like, why leave it here? But when I went out for the first time to Gold Butte National Monument, which is kind of near Valley of Fire.
Okay.
When we went out there, there's like an old like town site where people used to live, and when people were mining out in Gold Butte, they built this little town, but it was either that there was no like gold there, or it was some other mineral that ran out super quick, so they just like left everything. So there's like evidence of this old town that was left behind, but it is important for the history of our area to know that these people came here and like try to understand like why everything they had to leave so suddenly. So just fun facts like that you can find out when you get to talk to groups who know what they're talking about.
Right. Like there's so much to learn just from going out and being involved in things.
Absolutely.
So what do you plan to do in the future? What's your ultimate goal? Like, what's your current outlook on what you're trying to reach and how you're going to get there?
So I really want to make this like a substantial group. So for me, one of the biggest inspirations I didn't mention before about starting this group was when we had the government shutdown last year. Mm-hmm. The issue was that the federal government workers who are like our park rangers and who work for the BLM can't go out when the government is shut down and continue to do their job out at like parks and out in the forest and stuff. So
I saw those pictures and videos online, like out of like Joshua Tree and even up at Mount Charleston, like trash cans overflowing, people leaving human waste. And what happened in Joshua Tree is that people went off-roading with their cars and destroyed plants out there. Like these Joshua trees, some of them are hundreds of years old, and because there was no one there to stop them, they just went through. And
yeah, so it can be really tragic to public lands when we don't have the resources to protect them. And I think that it would be really incredible if we had a substantial group of people who was dedicated to this specific movement of picking up trash and protecting our spaces, that if that were to happen again, then we would have a group of people that our local area could count on to come out.
Right.
And I just would also add on to having like a group of people who we could count on to come out for that, is that I also have goals for this group to be more than one event per month. If it's not a cleanup, maybe we could do like panel discussions or go out for like a speaker to come talk to us about our local area and kind of things we can do to get involved. So I think that as more people start joining, we'll be able to form more of a like, I would like to form a leadership committee. Right now I do have a co-leader. Her name's Haley. Hi Haley. She's going to watch this, I'm sure. But she's great, and she's extremely dedicated to protecting our public lands and picking up trash. Every time she goes out on a hike, she's always got her 11th essential, that trash bag, with her.
That's me.
Yes. And so it's great to be working like on a team for this project.
And it's more fun when you have other people that you're working with.
Totally. And so hopefully we can get a few more people too who are like very interested in taking on this cause, who want to help us really grow and develop too. So
well, I hope I can help you guys in any way, whether it's, you know, sharing your stuff, or if you ever want to co-sponsor an event, or do like awareness stuff. I want to, we try to do like the one event a month thing too, whether it's, you know, whether it's a donation drive or we do like a cleanup or something. But I also want to start getting into actual events that we host with different groups for like awareness days. Like, you know, this last week was Suicide Prevention Week. So City of Las Vegas did this huge event called the hashtag Aren't You Okay? Is like the hashtag Are You Okay is like the whole idea of like asking people, are you okay? You know, talking to people and like letting them know that they can talk about like how they're feeling and everything. And they did a spin on that where it was Aren't You Okay? To focus on how art and self-expression can be used to help with suicide prevention, help with mental health and depression, and that whole thing. So I went and I got to meet all these amazing people in different groups and everything, and I was just, this is what I want to do. You know, I want to be a part of these groups that, you know, make these events that bring people out, give them resources to learn new things, to get help, to get involved, to, you know, whatever, you know, the focus is of that particular thing. You know, I want to do more of that. So anything I can help you with.
We'd love it. Yes. Cool.
So how can, besides being a part of your group and joining your cleanups and everything, how can the community help you achieve your goals?
Well, I definitely encourage people to give it a try, because I think sometimes people are like, they don't like to go to things alone, and they don't want to just be like by themselves. But I want people to know that really when we come out, we are all friends. Like, I want to meet every single person who comes out. So if you're nervous about it, like, consider me your first friend who's going to be there, because I'll be there. And I want to hear from people, like, what kind of things they want, because this group is still pretty relatively new, and I'm really curious about what kind of things that people want from this organization. You know, if there are things that they feel like might be super relevant to this cause, then I want to hear from people and know what they're thinking or what they want to do or anything like that. An example would be, we have one of our folks who comes out named Zach, and he works at a t-shirt company, and he was like, do you guys want to get shirts? And I was like, yes.
Awesome.
So it just takes, like, you know, just talking about it, these ideas, like maybe there's things that I haven't thought about and I really want to know what people are interested in, and like, if getting shirts is what people want, like, let's get some shirts. I want a shirt.
Right.
So,
Hey, that's how you raise awareness and like start conversations, because someone's gonna be like, oh, that's a really cool shirt, and they could be like, well,
let me tell you about this thing. So,
right.
yeah.
So essentially, like, community feedback.
Community feedback and showing up. Showing up is number one. Bring a friend if you can, but if you don't have one, we're friends.
Hey, the more the merrier. And the more that's learned about, and, you know, the farther the reach goes. Because then those people that you bring with you to these events, they're going to go and talk to other people and be like, I did something really cool this weekend.
Yeah.
And then next time,
everyone.
they're going to bring another person, and then that person's going to bring another person. And then that's how things grow. That's how communities grow. So, what tips or ideas do you have for people in the Las Vegas community to be litter-free in their own lives?
Very cool.
And how to go towards litter-free. Thank you.
I think that some things you should consider are, number one, I would say, is to reduce. It's one of the 5 R's. To reduce in your life, try to just pay attention to how much trash you go through each day, because it will probably surprise people when they start, you know, you wake up in the morning and there's just little things that start to build up, and then at the end of the day, if you were to collect all that trash instead of throwing it away, it would be probably a lot more than you expect. So I would say just be aware, and then as you pay attention, also try to notice the things that you waste most frequently. So if you're the kind of person who goes to get coffee every morning, and so your most consistent waste is plastic cups and plastic straws, then maybe consider reusable.
Yeah.
Bring your own cup.
And if you don't have your cup with you, don't get coffee.
Or if you do, just think about it for next time.
I have that thing with myself, because that reminds me, you put your coffee cup in your purse before you left, because if I don't have it with me, I don't get to reward myself. So you can think of it like that. That's just how I see it. So,
and sometimes even if you find out that there's something you do over and over again, that thing might be expensive. Like for me, getting coffee every day, even when I brought my own cup, was starting to get pretty expensive. So I started making my own iced coffee at home, and it saves me a lot of money,
and
which
you know
is
what's
nice.
going in your drink too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, you're not like you go to Starbucks and you get a latte and it's like X amount grams of sugar. That's probably more than you should have in 3 days worth.
Yeah, so it's good for that too. Good for a lot of things, and so definitely pay attention to the way that your behavior affects your waste in your life. And I guess a side tip would be, if you see trash just in your daily life when you're walking around, if you pick it up, it's something that other people can see, and other people will be like, a lot of people would appreciate it. Like when I see other people pick up trash, it means a lot to me. Like that's very important. So something to consider as well. And then obviously getting involved in a group that has passions that are similar to what you care about. And lastly, I'm gonna say you should vote. You should definitely vote for the people and for the policies that align with your values, because individual action is super important and it makes a significant difference, especially in the short term.
But we also need systematic change from the top down as well. So we meet
Absolutely.
right there in the middle.
We need it really bad, especially the environmental movement. We need that institutional change in order to combat the climate crisis and really address the waste issues that we have in society.
Right.
So don't forget to vote.
And make sure you're registered to vote, especially for the upcoming primaries and caucuses that may be in your state. A lot of states have cutoff days for one, when you can register, and two, if you have a closed primary or caucus, you have to be registered for the party that you plan to vote on a candidate for. So, even if you're undecided about who you want to vote for, if you know that you want to vote, and you should want to vote no matter what, be registered to vote as soon as possible so that you can be involved in the primaries and caucuses next year, because that's going to decide who gets on the ticket for us all to vote on in November.
Absolutely. Super important.
Thank you for those tips. Those were awesome. That's those little things that let people make a difference, because a lot of people, I feel that they don't know where to start because they're just like, what can I do? I'm one person. And it's just like picking up one bottle out of the street is a tremendous thing that you can do. Just one bottle. If you do anything, one thing, it makes a difference, because you multiply that by 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people, and exponentially, that's how change happens. One person doing one small act at a time.
And think about eating a veggie burger.
Yes.
Consider it.
At the very least, making better choices when you can. It's hard to tell people you need to stop eating beef, or you need to stop eating meat. It's easier to tell people to cut back and be more conscious of their choices when they have the option to, instead of just being like, you need to change your entire diet, because that's not how you change people's views on things. Like with the whole Amazon being on fire, a lot of that is caused because of ranching. And if it's not clearing land to raise cattle, it's clearing land to raise food for the cattle. So if I were to look at a burger, I would think, it's not just, an animal died for me to eat this. It's, especially thinking of where that meat came from. If it came from land in the Amazon in one aspect or another, it's more than just that animal died. It's a forest was cut down, animals lost their lives, lost their homes, indigenous people lost their lives, lost their homes. So it's more than just, this singular thing, So I personally can't look at beef the same way as of late, but I'm not about to tell anybody you should stop eating, beef. It's a hard switch, but that's why I've personally just been focusing I only eat chicken now, chicken and turkey. So it's a hard switch. I am a carnivore. I love beef. I love steak. So it's been really hard if I go out with friends and family, and they're just like, oh, let's go to a steakhouse, or let's go to Korean barbecue, which I love. And I've had to make some tough decisions lately and to turn those down. So it's hard, but we all have to do things to, make a difference anywhere we can.
Yeah, I agree.
So where can people get more info on how to get involved?
Right now, Litter Free LV can be found on Facebook and Instagram at Litter Free LV, LITTERFREELV, like Las Vegas. And that's where we have all of our information. If you have signed up for an event before, then I have your email, and I just started sending out monthly newsletters, so that's another great way to find out what we're up to.
That's awesome. Have you thought about ever setting up a website or anything?
I have wanted to do a website for a while. It has been something that I really wanted to do, but I haven't really dedicated the time yet. But I've built websites in the past, so I really just gotta get on it, honestly. That's the only thing holding me back is myself right now. So soon, in the works.
All right. What have you specifically learned or gained from this venture that you would like to hit on?
Oh, what I have learned is that there are a lot of people out there looking for the same community as me, and that I think that before this, people found it challenging to find groups of people who wanted to take action and make a difference for our local environment. And I think that this gives people a really safe space to do that, to start getting involved. And while we do have other groups come speak to us, like the Sierra Club came and spoke to us, and a lot of their issues are public lands based issues, and we need to work together to get proper legislation passed in order to protect those places. So it's kind of like easing into getting politically involved as well, but the focus is more on action-based and discussion and community building.
Right. So then, like, is it one of your goals, like, really get involved with, like, the people in our state, like, with in respect to politicians and everything? I don't know if, like, setting up, like, a coalition or meeting with them on a regular basis to discuss legislation to actually enact?
I think that it would be, I like the way that this group is still like, it's like a way to introduce people to that, because I mean, even for me, like a year ago, I would have not had any idea like what it would mean to get involved in local politics in order to help protect the environment. And by coming out with a group of people that you're friends with and doing things that you already feel comfortable doing, like picking up trash, and then having the opportunity to talk to people about ways that we can get involved further as far as like long-term solutions, I think that this is really helpful for that. So I think that it's just a good educational tool, and I think that I've learned that people really want to learn what they can do to make a difference.
I agree. They need the resources to do it.
Yeah.
You need to be exposed to the things that are open and available to you in order to, use those opportunities that are around you. Because a lot of the times you don't hear about these things until they happen to come past your news feed, or someone shares something from them, or however else you come across it.
Yeah.
It's all about like the exposure and everything.
Absolutely.
All right. Last question. Any last minute comments or anything that you want to share with any potential supporters or people out there who need anything?
Yeah, I would just say it would really mean a lot if you could give us a follow on social media, because that's where we are right now, and just keep an eye out for when our upcoming meetups will be. We would love to have you there. And if you have any ideas for things you want to see our Litter Free LV group incorporate, feel free to send me a message. I'm all ears and I'm ready to hear it.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sitting with me and sharing everything with me today. You guys have a cleanup coming up, don't you? Like on
September 28th. Yeah, we do. Hope to see you there.
I won't be there because I'm actually doing a cleanup up at Mount Charleston.
Hope to see you there.
September 28th is National Public Lands Day, so wherever you are, whether you're out here in Las Vegas or you're in another state, wherever, look around your area, see who you can work with to get involved on that day. There's so many groups that are out there that can help you get involved. So thank you so much again for sitting with me. Thank you guys for sitting with us, and we hope to see you get in motion with us in the future.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for listening to our first Conversations with the Community podcast and our first interview with an organization out here in Las Vegas. We hope to do more of this community outreach with different organizations in the future, so if you enjoyed this discussion and want to hear more from us, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on our social media pages. And don't forget to follow Litter Free Las Vegas on their Facebook and Instagram, links in the description below. If you can, join them for one of their upcoming events and get in motion with the Las Vegas community. Thank you so much again for joining us. Until next time, I'm Catherine, and this is Millennials in Motion magazine.